Hey guys, Icon here from Voclia Music. In this video, we're going to be looking at some MIDI chord randomization, which will allow us to get some complex and melodic chord progressions going while improvising with Dubler. There are a couple ways to do this, and we'll be trying the technique out with a Rhodes patch and a pad patch over a drum beat. Hope you enjoy. Our first sound is a Rhodes sound, and we've used the Lounge Lizard plugin. We've used the Comp Rhodes preset, and here's how it sounds with Dubler. We've also added Ableton's native reverb plugin and a velocity MIDI device to control the velocity a bit by reducing this out high. Here's how it'd be without that. Gets a little bit harsher, no need for that. And afterwards we have the chord device, which is the main focus of the tutorial. We've added intervals of 3 semitones, which will either be the minor or major third, depending on the chord. We've added the fifth, which is 7 semitones up, and an octave up via 12 semitones. We're going to automate shift 4 and 6 so that we keep getting additional random intervals added to the chord, essentially changing the chord every time we play it. To keep all the notes coming out of the chord device under the control, we've added Ableton's Scale MIDI device with the C minor preset. You can find it here under MIDI effects, Scale, C minor, but we've changed the bass to F sharp because we're in the F sharp minor scale, not the C minor scale. To automate these shift knobs, all we've done is right click, show automation, and drawn in some very fast dynamic automation with a range from 0 semitones to 24 semitones. To get this sine wave shape quickly, you select a region, right click, and then insert shape here. There are lots of different shapes on option. So once you get the sine wave, it goes the whole range, so all the way from -36 up to +36. But we don't want that, so we bring it down via this arrow here to around 24, and the bottom should be 0 because we don't want any notes going lower than our root. And then you can change the length of this here, and then duplicate it while it's selected. This is of course all in Ableton's automation mode, which you can transfer into here, or by pressing the A shortcut on your keyboard. So this is for shift 6, which is this knob, but we also need some automation for this shift 4. And we've already programmed that, so if we just come here. Again, in shift 4, we've also done a similar pattern. But we don't want them doing the exact same pattern at the same time, because then we'll just get the same note for each. So as you can see, we've slid shift 6's one a little bit. You can do this by selecting all, and then just slightly moving left or right, however much you want. Like this, for example. Even in small increments, it will make a huge difference to the combinations, and you could also automate the fifth one or the third, second, and first too. We like having some that don't automate, just have some consistency in the chords. If I press play with the Rhodes in solo, I'll just get out of automation mode. You'll see that as we move along the timeline, these knobs will keep changing, and as a result, our chord shapes will keep changing. So I'll just press play, arm the channel. So there I was just playing one note, and even with one note I got a lot of melodic patterns and different chords that I could use. Of course, while jamming like this, everything you improvise isn't going to turn out great, but it's all about finding those moments and then editing the chords afterwards. I'll just jam around again with a drum beat. One more thing you can do to make the chord sound more full is layer with a bass. So I also have a bass instrument loaded here with the pitch set to a bit lower so it stays low even when I'm singing high notes. And I can record arm them at the same time to perform them. So if we record the MIDI, as you can see, we can edit them. But the annoying thing about this is that we don't have the whole chord, and it would be great if we could edit the whole chord that we get while singing this. For that, we've created another MIDI channel here, and we're going to try to get all the MIDI from this channel, including the additional chord notes, into here so we can have the whole chords as MIDI files. Just set the MIDI from to Rhodes here, which is our Rhodes channel. Record arm this. And just record this channel while this channel plays. Let's see if it's going to capture the chords. We definitely got a lot of chords here, and look at how complex they are, always changing, very clustered. Of course, you can now go into some surgical editing, change some voicings around, and choose the best loops to use in your track. There's one more way to do chord randomization, and for that we have this pad example. Here's how the pad sounds with Dubler. We again have a chord MIDI device doing +3, +7, +12. While we're modulating 2 of the lower shift knobs. And we again have the scale MIDI device to keep all these notes in our F-sharp minor scale. This time, instead of using drawn automation like we did with the Rhodes, we're using Max for Live MIDI devices. These are only available in Ableton Live Suite, and they're found under the Max for Live here under MIDI Effect. If you search LFO MIDI, what these are LFOs that you just map to any parameter and it keeps them going. For example, we've mapped this LFO to shift 4, this one to shift 5. And as you can see, the knobs just keep moving, even when we're not playing. And you can change the offset. So if I put the offset left for shift 5, for example, you'll see it starts to go down to -28 all the way down there. But I want to keep it high because I don't want it ever to go under my root note. And you can change the rate. It starts moving much faster. So you get a lot of different chord shapes faster. You can edit the depth, so how far right it goes. For example, at max, it goes a long range. So I'll just keep it like this for now and then press record. And then I can find some moments I liked. And you can edit the MIDI. But every time this goes around, you'll get a different chord because the LFO MIDIs will keep the knobs moving and they won't always match the time of when you press play or press record. So it's really important to use another MIDI channel to capture all the MIDI to get those chords you like. I'll just delete this again with the MIDI bus. Select where it gets its MIDI from. I'll select the pad. Just arm this channel and hit record. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about chord randomization or other techniques we've looked at, definitely drop a comment in the comment section. I will be sure to get back to you. For more information about Dubler, head to voclia.com and subscribe for more videos. See you next time.